What is the secret to a monologue that actually books the job and captivates a room? Honestly, it's not what most beginners think. It's not about picking the most dramatic and crying and making sure that you're just so upset. And if you're looking for the basics of how to break down a monologue, that will be in a future video. But for now, I'm going to give you the 3 practical things as a newbie you should be looking for that no one tells you. I'm about to reveal to you 3 hidden techniques. Quick bit about me. I've been doing theater about 15 years, regional productions, professional shows. I studied at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London, Shakespeare, and now I just want to give some tips to you guys. Okay, let's get into it. Your first secret as a newbie is to pick the boring monologue. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. The difficulty with doing a monologue for an audition is that you want to create the scene and create authenticity, but you have no scene partner. And not to mention that you're walking into the room most of the time going, "Hi, my name's Neil. Let's act." Super easy environment to just completely force everything and not really the best nurturing place for you to give your best work. So instead of picking your, I'm going to have an emotional explosion monologue that you might want to pick, you're instead going to pick something a little bit more simple. But there's a catch. You're going to fill that more simple monologue with actual, authentic acting. When I was in conservatory, I was doing a big, massive cattle call audition, and tons of people just got up there and, "Oh, someone died. Oh my God, I hate you." All of that big nonsense stuff. But I had a different monologue. That monologue wasn't this big in text, it was this big. And the reason why that was great was because everyone has the same time quota. So if you have a minute or a 2-minute monologue time quota, you trying to get all your words in those 2 minutes, if you actually narrow down the amount of words, you have more time to fill it in with acting and interesting choices instead of stressing about, "Oh my gosh, am I going to get the monologue done in time before the timer goes off?" And that's the point I'm trying to make. By having less text and less emotional outbursts, you're able to fill it with more interesting choices that will come off more natural and authentic. We want to fill your monologue with you and your beautiful acting instead of the whole monologue wearing you. That's how you shine through the material instead of the material bogging you down. So yeah, simplify the text. That makes your acting stand out better. Secret number 2. I call this the real person hack. I'm going to assume that you already know that in a monologue, you are pretending to speak to someone. So usually the very first thing you're taught is, okay, who are you speaking to? Let's define the relationship. Is it your mother? Is it your best friend of 10 years? And then people are like, "Oh, it's the character Lisa in the show, and we've been friends for this many years." Here's the thing, though. You're not doing the show. You're doing like a 1 to 2 minute snippet of a 2-hour show. So we can feel the flexibility to make it our own. No one's going to know what you're imagining and what's going on in your head. It is a lot of work to build a person, a character that you're speaking to when you're going off of absolutely nothing and you're most likely just starting off in your acting career. That's a lot of training that goes into making those things possible. So I like to simplify for you. Pick a real person in your life to imagine. The audience will never know who you're picturing. They'll probably think you're picturing one of the characters from the show. But you are actually picturing your real mom that you're talking to or your real best friend. And because of that, we're going to get those nuances that you naturally bring when you talk to someone with that demographic towards you. Let's make those moment before us easier to access because it's a lot of pressure when you get up there. So yeah, pick a real person in your life. Easy. Which leads me to secret number 3. And this is a super important secret. Absolutely no one does it when they're starting off. So this is what's going to be what sets you apart. You're not just going to stand there and act the monologue and just say all the words. You are going to bring your body to the performance. What do I mean by that? Actually, exactly what I just said. You're going to bring your body to your performance. So I once had to do a monologue where I was starting off a little high intensity. You were diving right into something. So instead of me standing there and just starting to talk to someone and, "I hate you, da 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 da," I made the physical choice that I am going to go to the back wall and I'm going to push against it. That physical push, pushing me into the scenario, got my body activated immediately just by taking a second to go, And by doing that, the entire monologue was alive, active, and no one else was doing stuff like that. Not to mention, it helps to get you out of your head. So instead of standing there getting ready to, oh, I'm imagining this person and how upset they're making me and pushing all of those feelings, you're going, okay, I'm imagining this is the real person I'm talking to in my life. And I'm going to start off with this physical choice of pushing off the wall. There, you have the beginning of your monologue set to spring you into action. And if you like this video, made you think a little bit more, go check out my other video about how to start the basics of acting at home right now in your bedroom. Hit the bell if you want to see more videos like this and keep growing your career. I post videos every Sunday. And be a good artist. Share this with other people so you can spread the love. All right, love you.